So hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren if I'm a new face to you, and today I wanted to share my review of the book The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. So this is Sydney J. Shields' first book, her debut novel, according to Goodreads at least. And I gotta tell you, it was so good. So I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. It was really good. And before I go any further, I want to say thank you to Red Hook Books for allowing me to be an early reader of The Honey Witch. All opinions expressed in this review are my own, and you can get your very own copy of The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields on May 14th. So next week, if you are watching this anywhere near the release date of this video. So what is this book about? So the 3 main things that I can sum this book up into is you're gonna like this book if you like the Bridgerton vibes, if you like the vibes of practical magic, and also if you like sapphic romances, because it's a good one, let me tell you. So hold on. So in The Honey Witch, our main character, Marigold Claude, she is 21 years old, and her grandmother arrives in her life and tells her she is destined to be the next Honey Witch of this little town, Innisfree. So I'm gonna pronounce it, I'll have the word somewhere. Marigold's mother is not the Honey Witch because the family has a curse on them. So they have to either choose between finding true love, finding their soulmates, or being the witch. And if you choose to be the witch, which Marigold does, you are cursed to never find love or be loved romantically. You can be loved by friends, but romantically is not happening. Marigold decides to take that view of the curse and embrace her magic and learns. And her grandmother fades out and Marigold grows into her power. But Marigold's resolve is tested once Lottie Burke enters the picture. She is skeptic of magic and arrives challenging Marigold to prove the reality of her magic while also stirring these unexpected feelings. And darker forces start to threaten. Marigold starts to kind of understand some repressed memories that she had, and everything that she knows, her power, her island, and her love are on the line. So she has to protect them. Let's go ahead and just get into the review real quick, why don't we? Okay, so my camera just ran out of space. So let's try this again. Let's just go ahead and get into the review. We're gonna overlook my stupidity. This story follows Marigold, who is the oldest daughter. That's why she is the Honey Witch, not her younger sister. We follow her throughout the story, watching as she grows into her power and grows into her own, and then starts trying to understand the feeling that she had never really wanted before. She'd gotten her heart broken. She learns about being a witch, and the part that really was so well done was that she grieves her grandmother in such a real way. And also the community that surrounds her in this book are, just wow. By the end of the book, Marigold's character development is almost complete. It's really wonderful that way. You see who she has grown into, and she's gotten comfortable with who she is and really grown into who she is meant to be. We also get to follow the story of Marigold's younger siblings, Aster and Frankie, as they find their love, and it's kind of side story, but you get to see that, and she has a very close relationship with her immediate family. One of the main themes throughout this book is the idea that love triumphs all, and that soulmates are kind of the ultimate happiness, and that is what we all deserve to have at the end of the day. But this theme doesn't overshadow the other theme, which is grief, and instead it allows for there to be a balance of the two, and also it allows for the emotion and process that is grief to be closely examined in a very healthy and really vulnerable way. You could feel this is what I went through. It was really wow. Lots of complex feelings, but they're all very well described. Marigold loses her grandmother, and then I'm gonna give a couple spoilers. You should know now in my review videos that Once we move on to the review part, I do share spoilers because it allows for a well-rounded review. So, your warning's over. Not only does Marigold lose her grandmother, but she loses Mr. Benny, who she sees as a grandfather figure. She didn't have a grandfather. And then we come to learn that Althea, her grandmother, Mr. Benny was her soulmate, and they had that connection before the Ash Witch, you know, the bad one, came and cursed Althea and all of the female witches coming after her in her line. And so Mr. Benny, honestly, I felt that one a lot harder than I felt the death of her grandmother. And the other aspect of grief that's examined is she loses Lottie during the winter period, and she has to go through the process of grieving that relationship and what it could have been, because the curse wasn't allowing her to have any type of contact with Lottie. And at one point, after they were like intimate-ish, and Lottie dies from that, she's also having to grieve and be like, I have to do this so that Lottie is safe. The person that I love most in this world is safe. So all of this, you can feel it as you read, that it was written out of a place of love, and I really have not experienced that in any other book that I've read. Now, some of the side characters, because this was such like a deeply connected story between the family and her friends. So I can't remember who her friend is, the little sailor guy who wants to travel the world. So that best friend of Marigold's and her brother Frankie turn out to be soulmates, and Aster finds her husband, not confirmed soulmate, but I'm just gonna go ahead and assume. So we get to see those side characters have their love story in bloom, and Marigold also has to watch that and go, I'm never gonna get that because of this curse, and I chose to do this instead of being selfish, which she kind of sees her mother as being, at least in the first part of the book. But when she goes to the island and kind of examines everything, she sees why her mother chose to leave and hide this part of Marigold. As a form of protection, yes. Marigold's mom is Raina, and she is the daughter of Althea. Another part of the character growth for all of these characters is that throughout the story, Raina and Marigold repair their relationship and get back to what they had before, like that close mother-daughter friendship relationship that they have. Which, for a while there, I was honestly like, I want them to get back together, but I want it to be good for both of them. The way they go through healing that bond, it was very approachable, because it feels like if a fight were to happen between me and my mom, that's how I would handle it. Maybe a little bit faster. I wouldn't wait like months and months and months. But overall, this book kind of promotes like the idealistic family. So kind of like Bridgerton family in that way, where it's the family we all strive to have, I think, like that close-knit, not like perfect per se, but like very loving family that's very vibrant and always there for each other. Now, the writing style, it is in third person if my memory serves me, but the writing style, it's very easy to read, and sometimes in fantasy books, my reading tends to be slower, my reading pace tends to be slower than with like contemporary romance books. I don't know why. It just is. And I guess I'll just do a little plug here. I know that because of Bookly, and it's an app I swear by. This is not sponsored. I'm just saying it is one of the best apps you can have. Or I'll have more information about the Bookly app in the description below if you are interested in checking it out. The whole story unfolds in this very easy way. It's almost as if you're watching a movie. It makes perfect sense. It was so easy to read. It read like a contemporary romance novel, just very smooth. The language she used perfectly described situations. You could feel the coziness, you know, like cottagecore cozy. You could feel that. The tension between the characters, how Shields wrote that, was so good. So the book covers like a huge span of time, like from August until like March or something like that. It doesn't feel that big, and it never feels as if it's dragging. You're always It's rapidly developing, but in a natural pace. Before I start to wrap this up, I just want to say all of the moments when Lottie started declaring her love, when Marigold got that tattoo of the bee, when they were at the dressmaker shop, just everything about it, I was like giggling, I was happy, I was shocked, and I've never seen another book like this. And I had found out about this book like way back in the fall, I think, from Sydney Shields's TikTok or Instagram Reels or whatever you want to call it. And I found it and I was like, oh my gosh, that's like on my list and blah, blah, blah. So when I got the approval from NetGalley that I could read and review this book, I was beyond excited because like, yeah. So yeah, on the 14th when it comes out, I'm driving my little booty over to Barnes & Noble because this is just one that I have to have a physical copy. I need to annotate it and I need to let my friends like borrow it and experience it with me. Honestly, if you are looking for a cute romantasy, magical realism, you know, you need a Bridgerton fix love story this spring, like this is the perfect time of year to read this book. I swear, I'm very much a mood reader. This is the perfect time of year. May, June, perfect time. Ultimate coziness, ultimate happiness. Just, yeah. Those are kind of all of my thoughts on The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. I want to once again say thank you to Red Hook Books for allowing me to be an early reader of The Honey Witch. This book will be released on May 14th, 2024, so go make sure you grab your copy. And if you have read The Honey Witch, please comment below and tell me what you thought, what your favorite part of the book was, or if you added it to your TBR after watching this. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed watching it, and consider subscribing to my channel for more content. I like to do a few book reviews every now and then, but I post a new video every Friday. On that note, guys, I will see you next Friday. Bye.